gentlemen, and welcome to Pinewood Way, Cullen, and this Week 6 fixture between Hardley Athletic FC and Bences Bastards. Top of the league Bastards make the trip across the valley in search of a 6th straight victory to open the season, while hosts Hardley Athletic could draw level with Pastor United in 3rd place with a win today, albeit with Pastor United and Box Badgers, who currently sit in 4th place, having a game in hand. Here to take in the action with me, my co-commentator, Gavin Gooseberry.
Hello, Dave. Hello to our listeners at home. It's great to see the People's Champions sitting pretty at the top of the table. But although Hardley Athletic will be missing a couple of key players today, as we will discuss, Pinewood Way is never an easy place to come for any team.
Yes, Hardley Athletic have yet to pick up a point away from home so far this season, but luckily for them, they've been formidable at home. Pinewood Way is becoming somewhat of a fortress for the Fat Boys, having seen off Kingan's Kippers and Up in Smoke.
Yeah, it's Air Force Base, Dave.
Yes, but I'm saying the way Hardley Athletic have been playing at home, it's becoming like a fortress.
I can see how it's like a fortress, Dave. It's Air Force Base. I mean, a lot of the camp is residential, and the site is predominantly used for training cadets nowadays, but still, it's a fortress in my book.
Yes, but never mind. As good as they've been while playing here, Hardley Athletic will have it all to do today if they are to maintain their 100% home record. The Bences Bastards have been excellent over the first third of the season so far, although they have had some close games. No one has managed to deal with the uncompromising, high-tempo, high-pressure attacking style their manager Darren Chipley has instituted. They've been racking up the goals with 20 in their first 5 games. That total was given a heavy boost in Week 4 when they racked up 8 against the depleted Kingan's Kippers, but no team has managed to hold the Bastards to fewer than 3 goals in a league match. The only blight on their season so far came when they were dumped out of the Springfield Cup by their hosts today, Hardley Athletic. How much do you feel that result will serve as a psychological advantage for the Pie Men today, Gavin?
Is it? I didn't think I can remember that game, if I'm honest with you, Dave.
Yes, in the Springfield Cup a few weeks back. Hardley Athletic won 6-1. McCabe scored 4. Pritchard had 3 assists. Ryan Bush stood in as manager and gave out free t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, I remember now, yeah. Yeah, I got my t-shirt in a medium eventually, you know. Yeah, I was obviously stuck in the commentary box when Bushy was handing them out, but I managed to meet up with some Claren kiddie after the game who got given one that was a bit too big for him. I traded him for what he thinks is a signed shirt by Ryan Bush. Yeah, I always carry a Sharpie with me, Dave. You never know when it will come in handy.
But do you think the result will give Hardley Athletic some advantage today, Gavin?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, to some extent, I suppose. Although there are 3 players in the Bastards lineup today who featured in that loss, Hardley Athletic are facing a different Bastards team, and we'll see that with the team news. But that match has to give the Pie Men a confidence boost of some sort today. On the flip side, I can tell you for a fact that Darren Chipley does not like losing, and he'll certainly have his players fired up for today's encounter, and he'll be looking for revenge.
Okay, well, without further ado, let's take a look at the team sheets today, starting with the home team, Hardley Athletic.
Thanks, Dave. Well, manager Craig Mace has made great strides with his players in terms of beefing them up the Hardley Athletic way. Even Sam Perry looks like he might stand a chance against a mild breeze nowadays. However, the 95% pies, 5% training ratio has taken its toll. Mace hasn't rotated his squad a lot either, so that means he's confronted by all sorts of fatigue issues with 2 weeks still to go until the All-Star break. The manager's problems are confounded by suspensions to Norris and McCabe. Both have been ever-present for the Fat Boys so far this season. McCabe in particular as a first-round overall draft pick. He's the Pie Men's top goal scorer. He's going to be sorely missed today. There had been speculation that, like the Kippers did in Week 4, Hardley Athletic might see this as a throwaway game and a chance to rest the likes of Pritchard and Saunders, who have also played every match so far this season and are suffering from low fitness levels, and in all likelihood extreme constipation too. But manager Mace is very much from the Brian Clough school of managers, and he's making it clear today that he's not interested in just showing up. He wants to win every game he manages, and he's filled in the strongest 6 available to him as far as I'm concerned. We'll have to wait and see if those fitness issues catch up with Hardley Athletic today. Dean Norris is in attendance, but he's resigned to the dugout as he picked up a third yellow card of the season last week against Jaipur Takeaway, and he's suspended today. That means club captain and local legend Matt Saunders, who grew up in the suburbs of Cologne, which basically means he grew up in a field, he starts in goal. After a quite successful 4-match run in midfield, during which he registered 2 assists, circumstances dictate that he needs to be back between the sticks for the Fat Boys today. He let in 5 goals over his 2 other appearances in goal in Week 1 and Week 2 of the league. Although Sam Perry is in many ways the epitome of a wide defensive player, manager Mace seems to have decided Perry is his best option at centre-back. He starts a 4th successive match in that role today. There have been rumours that come the All-Star break, when the transfer window reopens, Hardley Athletic may be in the market for either a replacement for Perry at centre-back, or, with respect to Stephen Smears-Myers, a half-decent right-sided defender to pair with Perry. Time will tell, but Perry will be hoping the former isn't the case, most certainly. David Harrison has featured only once so far this season. That was in a win against the Kippers. Harrison scored in that match, but was otherwise fairly terrible. Nevertheless, Harrison has shown up with his kit today, which is good for the lad, and with the absence of McCabe, he has a chance to stake a claim for a first-team place. As does Richie Beattie, who has also only featured once so far this season. He will anchor the midfield in a central role. Colin Sims seems to be back in the manager Mace's good graces. He's played well when he's had the chance, with 2 goals and an assist in his 4 appearances so far this season. Sims will be operating up the right side of this 3-man midfield. Considering the inexperience of Harrison and Beattie, Sims may have to play a blinder today to help his club win that midfield battle. And with top scorer Dan McCabe also suspended for picking up a 3rd yellow card of the season last week, Joe Pritchard is pushed into a centre-forward role today. He's already scored 3 league goals from a midfield position, and I think he'll make a decent makeshift centre-forward for today. Despite the suspensions, the Fat Boys continue in their trademark 1-3-1 formation. Pritchard and Saunders looked knackered during the warm-ups, and they may struggle to keep up with the pace today, but their versatility is vital to this Fat Boys lineup.
Alright, and how about the visitors, the people's champion Bences Lane Bastards?
Well, Dave, Chipley has done a little tinkering, but it's not the wholesale changes some had predicted. Derek Sims was struggling for fitness after week 5, and he is rested today. I'm informed that this news was met with great outrage by many of the female Bences Lane supporters. Some even asked for their money back upon hearing the team news, apparently. The absence of Sims means Matty D. White will be taking the gloves for the afternoon. Although he might not get the ladies frothing at the gash in quite the same way Sims does, White is a better goalkeeper, although his absence up front may also be felt. Chris Hendry is another player who has struggled for fitness all week. He's rested today also. Hendry was last rested in the cup match between these 2 teams, and at that time it was the youngster Michael Edmondson who got the nod. He promptly forgot his kit and let in 6 goals, so today Chipley turns to Daniel Powles. Powles grew up on the Bences Lane estate and is a lifelong Bastards fan. This is only his 5th league start in as many seasons, but he looks absolutely made up to be in the starting lineup today, and who could blame him? Powles is a midfielder by trade. We'll see how he copes playing at centre-back today, matching up with Hardley Athletic's Joe Pritchard. Despite the absence of Sims, there is some hope for the female fans. So far, he's registered 6 goals. He's got 4 assists. He's got 5 Man of the Match awards. And he's got one of the nicest pairs of boots in the league. And obviously, he has the patience to wait for Fred when he goes to Bernie's, because his hair, as usual, looks absolutely superb today, Dave. It's the Bences Lane Bastards club captain at the centre of midfield, Ryan Bush. Yeah, Bushy will be outnumbered in the midfield by Hardley Athletic, but the Fat Boys trio will have to work well together as a unit to contain Bush, who has a tendency to take a game by the scruff of its neck and seems to always find a way to make something happen. A familiar pairing on the wings for Bences Lane. They've started every game in the league so far with these roles. They have 5 goals and 4 assists between them, and increasingly are becoming known as the Blonde Bombers. It's bigger boy Craig Gingell up the right, and the hopelessly right-footed Stuart Deacon on the left. That is once again the preferred choice for Darren Chipley. With Matty White having to help out in goal today, That means a chance for drama queen Ben Rose to step into the lead role of the front line. Rose has only appeared once so far in the league. He scored in that match against Up in Smoke and then conceded a penalty and was sent off. You never know what you're going to get with Rose, and although he's not the worst striker I've ever seen, there are questions over his temperament. We'll see if he can keep his panties from knotting today. While Sims and Hendry's absence may weaken their defence, this still seems like a strong Bastards lineup to me. A team which I think Hardly Athletic may struggle to cope with, especially centre-back Sam Perry, who will be tasked with containing the Bastards' three-man attack. On the other hand, despite McCabe being suspended, you've got to fancy Pritchard in one-on-one matchups with Dan Powell's of the Bences lane. It may come down to which team can control the midfield, in which case it will be a matter of the quantity of Hardly Athletic and their midfielders versus the quality of the Bastards' lone midfielder Ryan Bush.
Intriguing stuff, Gavin. The players are now making their way out onto the pitch here at Pinewood Way. Most players still giving the jazz hand signal as a sign of solidarity with the why is a foot job more expensive than a hand job movement. The co-op may not be burning anymore, but the burning question remains. Will the league recognise and correct the pay gap between goalkeepers and outfield players? Our referee for today is Howell Evans, who currently has captains Matt Saunders and Ryan Bush gathered for the coin toss. And there you go, he's done it again. Bush won the coin toss and opted for Hardly Athletic to kick off, and Saunders, for reasons I can only assume entail annoying everyone, has asked to switch ends. I knew he was going to do it. I don't know why he keeps on. Wanker.
I don't know why it bothers you so much, Dave. It is a pain in the ass to have to switch ends, but I'm sure Saunders has his reasons.
Well, anyway, it will be Hardly Athletic to kick off. Now, this is unusual. Colin Sims has come to the centre circle to kick off, but all four outfield Hardly Athletic players other than Sims are lined up at the halfway line wide on the left side, as if they're about ready to start a sprint race.
Yeah, Pritchard, Harrison, Beattie and Perry, well, they look like wide receivers in American football before their snap. Saunders looks like he's playing quarterback.
Yes, the goalkeeper Saunders has only retreated about 20 yards back from Colin Sims, who awaits Mr. Evans' whistle to get this game underway. The Bastards don't seem to know what to do with this defensively. Gingell is waving his teammates over to his side of the field, where he's overloaded, but Captain Bush is intervening, telling his teammates to hold their formation. Daniel Powles is already in a panic at the back, hopping around from one side of the pitch to the other, and we haven't even kicked off yet. But now Bush is signalling to Deacon, and the two do join Gingell on that side of the field. What have the Pie Men got up their sleeve here for kickoff? Howell Evans blows his whistle and Colin Sims passes the ball back to his goalkeeper and captain Matt Saunders. The four other Hardly Athletic players do take off sprinting up that left side. Saunders controls and he has Ben Rose of the Bastards bearing down on him. And instead of hoofing it to the left side, he plays a clever ball out to Colin Sims, who immediately has dropped to this near side having kicked off. The entire Bences Lane defence has been dragged to that far side and Sims has acres of space to advance into here. The pass is beautifully weighted from Saunders and Sims takes it in stride and he does now advance up the right side. The rest of Hardly Athletic are now making runs from that left wing towards the box. Sims has all sorts of time. He does now cross. Pritchard misses it at the near post. Under pressure from Powles. And it's Harrison! David Harrison slides in at the far post and pokes it home with only a few seconds played. An ingenious set piece pays off for Hardly Athletic. There's a new one on me, Dave. Obviously something Hardly Athletic have worked on the training ground. Bences Lane had no idea how to defend that. Some fans are still making their way to their seats. Perhaps they thought they had a couple minutes to finish off their pints and pies. But they've missed a goal. The home fans who did see the goal are going mental. A dream start for the Fat Boys. Indeed. Less than a minute played and David Harrison has put Hardly Athletic ahead. They lead Bences Lane Bastards early in this one by 1-0. Beattie receives the ball from Colin Sims and quickly moves it on to Harrison on the left side, just inside the Bastards' half. Harrison has a little space in front of him. Ryan Bush is coming over from the centre to close off Harrison's path. It's a clumsy touch from Harrison, and Bush is able to slip in front of him and win the ball. Bush has Harrison on his back. He's facing his own goal, about 20 yards inside his own half. Oh, that's a clever bit of trickery there from Bush. He stepped over the ball as if to try and turn and go down the line, but instead he turns infield. Harrison was bamboozled. Bush continues towards the centre circle, and now Beattie begins to step up and close him down. But Bush has played a lovely pass out to the right side, where Gingell collects inside the hardly athletic half. Ben Rose is on the edge of the box, and Deacon is herring forward from the left side. David Harrison is trying to catch up with Gingell, but Gingell is quick, advancing up the right wing. He does now cross, and it's a deep one over the head of Rose to the far post, and Deacon gets his head to it in front of Colin Sims and directs it low past the keeper Saunders and into the back of the net. Deacon sprinted near 50 yards to get on the end of that cross from Gingell.
Yeah, Deacon got on his bike as soon as Bushy turned defence into attack, as did the bigger boy Craig Gingell. It was a slick pass from Bush to set Gingell free up the right. Harrison was never going to prevent the cross from coming in, and what a beauty it was. Loop into the far post, and Deacon arrived in time to apply the finishing touch. A great counter-attack from the Bastards.
Come on! Plenty of excitement here in the opening 7 minutes. The Bastards don't waste any time in drawing level. The score now 1-1. Gingell back to Bush. Nice first touch from him to keep clear of Beattie, who is left chasing shadows. And Bush now plays it back to Daniel Powells.
Hardly Athletic can't get a kick in here. When's the last time they touched the ball? When they kicked off?
It has been hard going for the Fat Boys since the Bastards' goal. Bences Lane have controlled possession, and Hardly Athletic have had to be patient and stay disciplined in defence, awaiting a counter-attack opportunity. Powells is hassled by Pritchard, but he's able to get it back to Ryan Bush, who's dropped deep, and he plays it on to Deacon. Deacon has come in from the left wing, and he controls the ball inside the centre circle. Hardly Athletic have Perry, Beattie and Sims between ball and goal. Beattie tries to put a challenge in on Deacon, but the wiry winger slips past him and continues infield. He's almost dribbling directly across the field at high speed like a novice rugby player. Oh, but then he plays a clever little back heel to Bush, who takes over possession. Deacon took out Harrison and Beattie with that slick little touch there. Bush continues up the centre, and now he looks for the run of Rose just outside the Hardly Athletic penalty area. Perry is with him. Nice from Rose, though. He touches it on deftly to the right side now, where Gingell is arriving from a deeper position. Harrison again is nowhere to be seen, and Gingell will keep the ball in. He controls it and carries it infield. Rose makes a darting run to the far post. Bush is arriving, but Gingell tees up Deacon! Oh, Deacon, what a finish! A second goal for Stuart Deacon, a second goal for Bences Lane. Right-footed strike curling away from the outstretched Saunders, who was left grasping thin air. Another clinical passing move from the league leaders.
Oh, that was a great strike from Deacon. Great technique. Kept over the ball and hit it with the instep to get it swerving away from Saunders, who had no chance. Bastards were wearing down Hardly Athletic, making them chase the ball all over the park. And when an opening presented itself, they capitalised nicely. Poetry in motion, as the away fans are singing.
Yes, the away fans in fine voice. Bastards have turned it around. They lead now by 2-1. Bences Lane continuing to control possession. It's Deacon knocking it inside to Bush, who touches it around the corner towards the run of Ben Rose, but Perry is finally able to intervene for Hardly Athletic. He wins possession and knocks it back to his goalkeeper and captain Matthew Saunders. Rose keeps ball chasing and is closing in on Saunders, who hoofs it long, and it's gone off to the right side. Over the heads of Colin Sims and Ryan Bush, though. Sims can turn, and he may still get onto this ball. He just about keeps the ball from crossing the right sideline, and Bush, although his hair looks fantastic and his movement is graceful, is not particularly quick in catching up with Colin Sims here. Sims has Pritchard in the centre to aim for, on the edge of the box. Takes a touch, and he does now look for Pritchard, who catches it well, but it's over the bar. Took the shot on first time, and although he made a good connection with it, it was quite central and always rising. No threat to Matthew White's goal.
Bushy misjudged that long ball from Saunders. Let Sims get in behind him there. Sims did well to chase the ball down and eventually find Pritchard. Wasn't an easy chance by any means, but with the way the Bastards have controlled the first half, Hardly Athletic may not get too many chances. Palsy done well to challenge Pritchard as he shot, and I think that affected the centre forward there.
And Gingell plays it forward looking for Rose. But the pass is overhit, and it will run for a goal kick. And referee Howell Evans blows for half-time. Not a second too soon as far as Hardly Athletic were concerned, I suspect. The Pie men were looking pretty exhausted in the latter stages of the half.
Yeah, Pritchard looked knackered as the half went on. Sam Perry too. And I noticed that the goalkeeper, Matt Saunders at times, who sat down on his own goal line when the ball was in the opposition half. Half-time provides a welcome break and a chance to top up on those steak and kidney levels, but I'm not sure how they'll fare over the full 90 minutes.
Despite being caught cold by an ingenious set play from the kickoff, Bences Lane Bastards have had things mostly their own way in this first half, controlling possession, and although they haven't created an abundance of chances, they have managed to score twice, and they lead their hosts, Hardly Athletic FC, by 2-1. A good tackle from Powles. He stops Beattie in his tracks and knocks the ball loose. Bush is quick to snap up possession for Bences Lane. Bush holds off the challenge of Harrison and is able to spread the play to Deacon out on the left side. Deacon has a chance to run at Colin Sims now, who's retreating in defence for Hardly Athletic. And Deacon does knock the ball down the left wing and he turns the burners on. The Sports Day 100-metre champion Deacon proving his credentials once again up the left side. He leaves Sims behind him, and if one thing's for sure, it's that Deacon is not going to try and cross with the left foot, and he predictably begins to cut infield. Perry has to come wide to confront Deacon, who lofts across to the far post towards Ben Rose, who gets up above Beattie. Oh, but it's a great save from Saunders. How did he reach that? The header from Rose looked destined for the back of the net, but the cat-like reflexes of Saunders kept it out and kept the scoreline at 2-1. Yeah, that was a hell of a save from Saunders, to be fair. The home fans are showing their appreciation for the captain. Great play from Deacon at the left side. He left Sims for dead and put in a lovely little floated cross for Rose to attack. Rose has done all he can. He got up above the defender and directed his header well. Only a save right out of the top drawer could have stopped that header. And that just so happens to have been exactly what Saunders had up his sleeve. The ball's gone out for a corner. And whilst we wait for the ball to be retrieved and Craig Gingell to take this corner for Bences Lane, Hardly Athletic captain Matthew Saunders is really firing up the home fans behind him after that save. He's grasping and kissing the club emblem on his chest, and he's giving the universal signal for raising the roof. The fans are lapping it up. What a showman! Pass from Bush is deflected by Beattie though, and it breaks in the direction of Colin Sims, just inside his own half, right of centre. Joe Pritchard makes a peeling run out to the left side, and Sims chips a dainty pass in behind the defender Daniel Powles of the Bastards, and Pritchard is able to latch onto this pass. He's wide on the left side, with the support a little slow in arriving. Beattie and Harrison are bursting forward to support the attack. Pritchard is going to have to bide his time while he waits for support though. Powles is in defensive position, but tentative to make a challenge on Pritchard. Pritchard is cutting in on his right foot. He fakes to pass in and instead knocks the ball the other way, onto his left foot, and he's beaten Powles for pace. Pritchard enters the area. Harrison is lingering at the far post, but Pritchard plays it square to Beattie! A crisp strike from Richie Beattie as the home team level once again. He ran a long way to catch up with the attack, and he had enough left in the tank to produce a quality finish. It's a good finish, Dave. The ball from Sims was what really set the chance up. Pritchard did very well to be patient and wait for support, and when it arrived in the form of Richie Beattie, he made no mistake with a pure strike from just outside the box. The Fat Boys have been under the cosh for much of this game, but they have looked dangerous going forward from time to time. It's a great performance from Hardly Athletic so far. They will not lie down. Darren Chipley, the Bences Lane Bastards manager, is absolutely furious on the sideline. He's bellowing and making hand gestures at referee Evans. Not sure what he's so upset about. He's saying Pritchard was offside when the initial ball from Sims went over the top. I'm pretty sure he's not justified in his outrage, but you know the Dazzler. He doesn't need much to say a goal against the Bastards was unjust. Oh, there's no calming Chipley as he rages with the fourth official. Dean Norris of Hardley Athletic has left the dugout and is in the manager's box alongside manager Mace, celebrating, and it appears Norris is also antagonising Chipley further. These two haven't seen eye to eye since the two clubs met in the Springfield Cup a few weeks back. Chipley was very unkind to Norris in that match, and Bonehead seems keen to rub salt into the wounds that this BT goal has inflicted upon the Bastards and on Darren Chipley. Oh, Norris squirts a water bottle at Chipley now. Manager Mace has had enough, and he grabs Norris by the scruff of his shirt and throws him back in the direction of the dugout. Chipley is incensed though, and he's rushing in the direction of Norris. The Bences Lane coaching staff are trying to hold their boss back, but Chipley seems possessed. Norris is getting to his feet, and he's immediately marched backwards by his manager Craig Mace. Mace now turns to face Chipley. The referee Howell Evans is now on the scene, as are a few of the players. There's a bit of a melee, but I think the chance of seeing a decent fight has passed.
Yeah, it's a bummer that is. I thought the Dazzler might be able to get in a couple of cheeky punches there, but manager Mace was having none of it. He dealt with Norris like a stepdad deals with an unruly stepson, and he wasn't going to let Chipley get near Norris either.
Referee Evans doesn't look happy at all. He's lecturing Darren Chipley, and now it seems he's pointing to the stands. It looks like Darren Chipley is going to be removed from the sidelines and sent to the stands. Chipley's still livid and not going quietly, but he is going. Now referee Evans is looking for Dean Norris, who's back in the Hardley Athletic dugout. He's calling Norris to his feet, and it looks like he will also be removed from the sideline. Chipley will be able to watch the rest of the game from the stands, but Norris, I suspect, will have to go straight to the dressing room. Evans does give Norris his marching orders, and Bonehead looks at the referee in disbelief, but he will now get up and walk down the tunnel. An ugly scene there, but take nothing away from the resilience of Hardley Athletic. A Richie Beattie strike on 55 minutes brings the home team level once more. All to play for here. White rolls the ball out to Daniel Powles, who controls and has plenty of time to get his head up and pick out Deacon on the left side, who knocks it inside first time to Ryan Bush. Beattie is scrambling to get in front of Bush. The Bastards captain jinks past Beattie and plays a through ball to the right side intended for Gingell, who once again has the beating of David Harrison for pace. It's a great pass from Bush. Gingell takes the ball in stride about 20 yards inside the Hardley Athletic half. David Harrison is scampering after Gingell, who now slows his pace and faces up to Harrison about 10 yards outside the area near the right sideline. Gingell makes a beeline for Harrison now, stepping over the ball, faking left and right, and he puts Harrison on his ass with an intricate piece of dribbling there. Gingell may be able to get a shot off here. Sam Perry is coming over to cover for Harrison, but Gingell does shoot! And he drags it wide with the right foot. Seemed to snatch at that slightly, and he pulled it a few feet wide of the left post. Yeah, it's great work initially from Ginge to get on the end of that pass from Bushy, and then the tricky dribbling to get past Harrison. He just needed a bit more composure with a finish. He had options inside of him too. Well, we finally located Darren Chipley after he was sent from the sidelines. We expected to see him pop up in the visiting chairman's box, but I'm pretty sure we spotted him in the east stand among the Bences Lane fans. Yeah, that's him, isn't it, Dave? Haha! Give the Dazzler 15 minutes and he'll have one hand on a beer and the other hand on an arse. Yes, that's Chipley all right, cheering on his team alongside the visiting supporters. The ball is with Bences Lane Bastards goalkeeper Matthew D. White right now. The Bastards have more or less controlled possession since so far in this second half, the same way they did in the first, but Hardley Athletic have so far been able to keep them at bay. White hits it long out to the right side, where Craig Gingell will jump against David Harrison of Hardley Athletic, and as we've learned time and time again today, there's only one winner there. Gingell heads it down to Bush, who knocks the ball over the head of the on-rushing BT of Hardley Athletic. Bush is able to control the dropping ball and maintains possession under pressure from Colin Sims. Bush goes striding forward with Sims and BT in pursuit. Sam Perry is ahead of Bush, marking Ben Rose. Rich BT has a little nip at the heels of Ryan Bush. And then he takes a mouthful. BT swept the legs of Bush as he neared the area, about 35 yards from goal. It's a blatant foul and almost certainly a yellow card. Yeah, everyone knows Mr. Evans don't play that shit.
That was a promising situation for the Bastards, and Beattie knew what he was doing.
It is a free kick, and it is a yellow card for Hardley Athletic midfielder Beattie. He seems unfazed, already in discussion with his goalkeeper organising a wall for the upcoming free kick. So, 63 minutes played, we're locked at 2-2. The visitors, Bences Lane Bastards, have a free kick around 35 yards from goal in a central position. Ben Rose is jostling with Sam Perry in the area. Gingell and Deacon are lingering on the edge of the box. And Daniel Powell appears to be pleading with his captain, Ryan Bush, to take this free kick.
Bushy will surely fancy this. But the power of a palsy punt is a real thing. I remember in primary school he used to make kiddies cry when he hit them in the face with a toe punt. And he scored a few worldies in those days too.
Bush and Powell's take their positions now. Powell's with a straight run up. Bush with more of a side-on approach. Goalkeeper Matt Saunders seems to have his wall set. The referee gives the go-ahead. Will it be a bender from Bushy or a Powellsy punt? It is Powell's, and it's a peach! What a strike from Daniel Powell's! His trademark Powellsy punt proves spectacular once again.
What a strike! Go on, Powellsy! His many victims from primary school will be able to confirm he's not always the most accurate with his toe punts, but he's caught that one as sweet as you like. Hardly any rotation on the ball, but it wobbled viciously in the air. Keeper Saunders was flummoxed.
Yes, a fine strike from Daniel Powell's. Puts the visitors ahead once again. Their manager Darren Chipley is, as they say, going fucking mental among thousands of Bastards fans in the East Stand. His Bences Lane Bastards now lead Hardley Athletic 3-2. Yes, the last 10 minutes have probably been the home team's best in terms of possession and territory. Hardley Athletic are managing to find their players in space and string some passes together. Beattie has it now. He has Colin Sims providing an overlap to his left. But Beattie looks forward instead to Pritchard, who controls the pass nicely, under pressure from Powell's. Pritchard brings it down and quickly knocks it to the left side towards David Harrison. Harrison gets a foot to it first, but he's under a lot of pressure from the bigger boy Craig Gingell, who's dropping rather deep to deal with this Hardley Athletic attack. Oh, Gingell easily dispossesses Harrison, shoulder barging him to the ground. Evans' ways play on though. Hardley Athletic had committed quite a few players to that attack, and they could be exposed here. Gingell brings the ball forward up the right side, and now he hits a long diagonal ball in search of the run of Deacon on the opposite flank. Ben Rose has lost his footing in the centre of the field and fallen over, but Deacon on the left side does control the pass, and it's a lovely first touch. He plucks the ball out of the air, and he might be in on goal now. Sam Perry is doing his best to get over to Deacon. Deacon is approaching the penalty area. Perry isn't going to get to him, but the keeper Saunders comes rushing out. Deacon rolls the ball across the face of the goal, and it's a tap-in for Ryan Bush. Neither Beattie nor Harrison track back, and when Perry moved to stop the run of Deacon, the fat boys were left exposed up the middle. Ryan Bush is the beneficiary. Get in there. A great ball from Gingell to find his fellow blonde bomber, Stuart Deacon on the left. Deacon again was just too fast for the Hardley Athletic defence. Saunders, I think, was right to leave his goal line, but Deacon had the presence of mind to square the ball, and it was a chance Bushy was not going to miss. It's in the bag now. Yes, the Bences Lane Bastards open up a 2-goal lead with just over 10 minutes to play. Hardley Athletic are really going to have to dig deep if they're going to get back into this game. Sims nearly gets a foot to that loose ball, but instead it's Gingell of the Bastards who claims possession and plays it back to Bush just inside the Bastards' half. The referee is checking his watch. Bush plays it back to his goalkeeper, Matthew D. White. Hardley Athletic are dead on their feet at this point. The keeper Saunders is sat on his goal line, leaning back against his post. Pritchard is haunched over with his hands on his knees. Perry looks like he may faint at any moment. White plays it short to Powell's, but referee Howell Evans has seen enough. He blows the final whistle, and the Bastards' 100% record has survived here at Pinewood Way. The home team, Hardley Athletic, was stubborn like a turd that wouldn't flush for the first and some of the second half. They were finally given the plunge when Bences Lane Bastards legend Daniel Powell's scored with a powerful free kick to make it 3-2. The Pie men seemed spent at that point, The Bastards captain Ryan Bush put the final nail in the Hardley Athletic coffin on 79 minutes, converting after good work up the left side from Stuart Deacon. Gavin, we've been treated to a great game today. Hardley Athletic, despite suspensions and a lot of players struggling for fitness, as can be expected here at Pinewood Way, fought the league leaders tooth and nail. What are your final thoughts, and who is your man of the match?
Yeah, props to Hardley Athletic, but with the team selection problems manager Mace was facing, they were always going to have a hard day at the office with the Bastards coming to town. Bences Lane executed their game plan, and their quality told in the end. My man of the match today is Stuart Deacon. I thought this was his finest game of the season so far. He scored the first 2 Bastards goals and then set up Bushy for the 4th. His pace was a problem for Hardley Athletic defence all day, and he showed some real skill and poise today also. A great performance from Deacon.
Thank you, Gavin. So, Bences Lane Bastards continue their winning ways. Hardley Athletic have dropped points at home for the first time this season. Bences Lane run out 4-2 winners. From my colleague Gavin Gooseberry,
Cheers, Anne!
and myself, Dave Mattingly. It's so long until next time.